is covered in mud and dragging your mother's clothes, cinder and smoke. The snake in the basement found the juniper shade. The farmhouse is burning down. Give me your hand and take what you will tonight. I'll give it as fast and high as the flame will rise, cinder and smoke. Some whispers around the trees, the juniper bends as if you were listening.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome to this round of the Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing League Summer Series 2024-25 and round 2. We are just wrapping up warm-up after a 30-minute practice and heavens above. Yeah, Troy Davidson set land speed record through the pits there. Yes, round 2, we are at Legacy, Kentucky. So she's a little bumpy as the boys decide to cut loose right on the flag. But qualifying is coming up in just a few seconds' time. It's an open qualifier, 10 minutes. And the boys will get the chance to take advantage of what is going on at Kentucky. It's a 1.5 miler. 75-minute race again tonight, same as last fortnight. Fortnightly races, so it was 2 weeks ago, believe it or not. Feels like it was just the other day. It is time certain, so it will include caution periods, 70% fuel. It's 3 sets of tyres over the wall plus the starter set, so they've actually got 4 all up to get through the 75 minutes. It's a fixed setup, and everybody is on the same setup as long as they've made sure that iRacing has loaded the one that was actually supposed to be in there. The driver briefing that is mentioned, and we go over that sort of stuff so the drivers can actually go, oh, yeah, I'll check that. Make sure, because plenty of times if they've been racing other things, it's very easy to go into a session and iRacing is actually loaded an incorrect setup from either what you were doing before or just once in a while it's actually done it randomly too. So it'll be something that's got nothing to do with the racing you've been doing. So I always mention that in the driver briefing, and we go over a few other things, racing room and certain other rules, and let them know what the format is tonight so that they're all up and running with it. But as we look at Troy Davidson on the track at the moment, we are in qualify with nearly a minute gone of it and 9 minutes remaining, as the boys will try and get the best possible starting position out of this. And with the open qualifier, they're able to take advantage of the draft. Season 1, all rounds were a single flying lap on your own, and lone qualify, obviously, that means. We are at Sparta in Kentucky, and it's 81 degrees out there at the moment, air temp, Fahrenheit. So that's 81, it's about 25 to 30 degrees, I think, Celsius. Track temperature, 83, so it's not that much warmer on the track temp. Wind is blowing from the south at a little over 7 miles per hour, moving around a little bit, and it is mostly cloudy. So it's not particularly hot out there, but this is the Legacy Kentucky configuration. So the track surface may cause some wear and deterioration issues with the tyres they've got. But they've got 4 sets from start to finish for the 75 minutes as we take a look at the Kingsman car, and out there trying to get the best possible time, the 310 Mustang. And we'll just see what sort of times that we've got coming in at the moment. Troy Davidson with a 31.294 at the moment. Adam Malone a 31.3. Wellman a 31.4. Anastakis on a 31.4. In 4th place. 5th place, 31.4 again, but there's a 100th of a second between Gary Wellman and Parry Anastakis. And then we got about 2.5 hundredths of a second back to Todd Maxfield in 5th with a 31.463. Phil Otto, great to see Phil out there in 6th position at the moment as Adam Malone pulls off to the side of the track on the apron. And Phil's put in a 31.576, so 10th of a second or so off Todd Maxfield's time. So the times, Troy Davidson down to a 31.115. So some good times starting to roll in at the moment, but remember they do have the benefit of the draft. So if the boys get themselves into a pack or a line of 2, 3, 4 cars, they can get much better times. And the open qualifier with advantage of the draft really does open up who sits where on the grid. The single flying lone qualify lap can tend to be whoever does the best line, who's puts in the best lap. Some guys are quite dominant when it comes to the qualifying, and what this does, it opens up the grid a lot more and gives more people a bit of a shot towards the front of the pack as we get started. And not too many changes. Wellman's up to 3rd place now with a 31.425. Anastakis and Maxfield have moved up. Cade Donnelly up to 6th. Phil Otto back to 7th. Rick Vincent, 31.669. Rick got into a couple of little scuffles last week, so we'll see what he can do with it this week. Fair moves, though. They were just poorly timed. A couple of times he tried to dodge through the gap between 2 other cars. He just really wasn't quite enough for him to get it done. In that situation, you've really got no idea what the guy on the inside and the outside are going to do. And both times he came a bit unstuck on that. One of those was credited to him as a penalty. The other one went to one of the other guys because he actually made double contact with Rick Vincent, causing the incident that involved Shannon Wright. Tony Roffey on a 31.7. Aidan Schulz is out there on a 31.8, rounding out the top 10 in qualifying at the moment. We've got Pete Matson, Tristan Koch, Craig Roffey have all put in times. Derek Jacobs, Michael Latter and Shannon Wright are yet to actually register a time with 4 minutes and 31 seconds left on the qualifying clock. We're going to take in a very quick ad at the moment, and on to some sponsors, while we watch these guys try and improve their place on the starting grid in the next couple of minutes. We'll be back. Stick around.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Welcome back to Kentucky Speedway for the Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing League Summer Series Round 2 for 2024-25, brought to you by Everything Simulated at Inside Lane Productions and streaming exclusively on YouTube through the Quasi Esports YouTube channel. And if you are out there, fantastic to have you. Great to have you along. I'm expecting some really good racing tonight. We're looking at 16 cars tonight. We're down a couple, but that's fine. Troy Mortensen, for instance, is not well tonight. He's got a little bit of a tummy bug, which is causing him some immediacy issues. And he's not actually going to sit in the cockpit tonight because he's a little bit worried they might make a mess of his racing suit. So g'day to Troy. I believe he's out there watching the broadcast. G'day, mate. And hopefully you're feeling okay and you don't have to race off and answer the call too many times tonight during the broadcast. So, yeah, good day to you. And I would have been quite happy to have him in the commentary box tonight, actually. But I think he's sort of, sitting on, he might be sitting in a very small room at his house with a portable device to watch the race just to make sure he doesn't miss anything. So, yeah, good day, mate, and hope you're feeling better. And Peter Matson is back, and he's had some health issues, and he's back with a vengeance tonight, feeling pretty good. He got some very good news with what he's been dealing with, and great to have Pete back on track tonight. Fantastic stuff. His car tonight actually has the correct number on the windows, but he has loaded the incorrect livery. So we've had a discussion about it. There'll be no penalty applied because we know why it's happened. And but he has number 26 on the doors and the roof, but 173 on the windows, and he will get that sorted out for the next round. So when you see 26 running around, it's actually Pete Matson, and it's number 173 on the windows. So it is displaying the correct number technically. It's just the wrong livery has loaded through trading paints. So he'll get that sorted out for next time. So great. And Pete was very accommodating. He was going to go off and try and fix it, but it was getting very close to qualifying. So I told him not to worry about it. We just let it go. And we are in warm-up, 4 minutes and 30 seconds, as the boys are trying to ruin that first set of tyres before they even get started. That's Kate Donnelly cutting loose there out of pit lane. And the boys going out, get a couple of laps and just see what they can do to, some of these guys might not have actually raced on this legacy version for quite some time. So the more laps they can get in before the race start, the better, just to get used to where the bumps and the cracks are. But, we're taking a look there. I believe that's Shannon Wright, the 023 car. It is. And Shannon's in the Everything Simulated race team, usually racing alongside the Valve Esports guys who haven't actually managed to make it to the Summer Series. But Shannon had a really good run last week and was just unfortunately caught up in an incident that was none of his making, but had a really good run and actually led a bunch of laps, I believe, from memory. So Shannon will be looking forward to trying to make that happen again and replicate what he did, except for the accident. So we'll leave that bit out of it and just get a good run going. Shannon will be pretty happy. He commented it was really good to run at the front with some of those guys. And Phil Otto, it isn't the 310 car. That's right, yeah. My old man's memory, I was having a bit of a senior moment. Couldn't remember who was driving that car. But it's Phil Otto in the 310. And we are under 3 minutes from gridding up as we take a look at the guys. There's Aidan Schulz going out for a couple of more laps, and a 31.525 Phil Otto managed to pull out of that. So it'll be good to actually see Phil out there and get something happening. Derek Jacobs also not feeling 100% tonight, so he's racing, but he's basically going to chill out at the back for a while, is what he said. But Derek normally does like to do that. You normally see it. It's, normally tries to just sort of see what's happening up ahead and bides his time. It's 75 minutes. So we're probably looking around about the 125 to 130 lap mark, depending on caution periods. I believe we got 131 out of the way last week in the 75 minutes. And the most interesting part about that is in 75 minutes, we had 40 lead changes. The last one coming out of turn 4 on the final lap, just right at the perfect moment for Craig Roffey to take the win last round. So I believe we'll probably go pretty close to that again tonight, and we shall see how the boys can actually dish it out. We're going to go for a real quick one while we actually get gridded up. We'll be back in just a moment with round 2.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, everything simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future. If you love...
Welcome back to round 2 of the Oz Oval. I'll get it right in a minute, put my teeth back in. Summer Series for 2024-25 as we start to grid up now, and we are going to go through the grid. Brought to you by Everything Simulated, and on pole position, Troy Davidson with a 31.115, spectacular time. Alongside him at the front, Adam Malone, again starting from the front row. You get used to seeing him up there. Gary Wellman, actually starting towards the front on the second row alongside Parry Anastakis. So we've got some Sim Boys and Rogue action happening already. Kay Donnelly alongside Todd Maxfield. So that's the Sim Boys row 3. Row 4 will actually be seeing Rick Vincent and Craig Roffey. So a Rogue row 4. And row 5, Phil Otto and Aidan Schulz. And row 6, that's definitely going to be Tony Roffey and Shannon Wright. So Shannon's actually qualified up there in around about 12th position. Row 7 is, are we waiting for it? There it is, Peter Matson and Tristan Kosh. So great to see Tristo out there tonight. And we'll take a good look at his livery later. It's supposed to be pretty good. Michael Ladder and Derek Jacobs starting out of row 8. And I think that's it. Is it 16 starters? And 1.5 miles for 75 minutes. I'm expecting, as I said, about 125, 130, 31 laps out of this one, depending on caution periods. But slightly smaller field tonight, but that means we should get some fantastic green flag racing tonight. So it could actually be a few more laps, depending on how we go with green flag pit stops and cautions. Hopefully not too many cautions tonight. And we can get this one done and dusted. But being 75 minutes, it's a timed race, so it won't make any difference to how long we're here. But 1 hour and 15 minutes as the pace car leads them around through turn 4. Troy Davidson will take over control of the field with Adam Malone right alongside him. We'll see what sort of start Adam gets. Usually pretty good. He's had a couple of dud ones over a period of time, but generally pretty good off the mark for his starts and restarts. Troy Davidson, on the other hand, can be a bit of a mixed bag. You never quite know what sort of start Troy's going to get. And he's got the foot down as Barney, the flag marshal, waves the green. And he gets a reasonable start there. He gets a push along from 2 of his teammates in Gary Wellman and Cade Donnelly on that inside line. Adam got a fairly decent start, but didn't actually get the assist that Troy Davidson got from his teammates there off the mark. So that was a really good start and well orchestrated by the Sim Boys team as those 3 cars now push to the front. Adam Malone drops down onto that inside line into 4th position as Parry Anastakis in 5th for the Rogue Motorsport guys. And we're going to have a ding-dong battle here. These guys are going to race each other. There will be team orders when it matters, but otherwise these guys will go hard at it to beat each other. They don't tend to actually just go, you go. They will. We'll see plenty of racing. We'll see plenty of lead swapping, and we'll see the guys having to actually put the effort in to get in front of their teammates as Parry Anastakis comes up behind Adam Malone there and pushes himself up into 4th. Troy Davidson loses out big time there, drops back to 5th place. Gary Wellman moves to the outside. Now he's going to drop back a little bit, and Kate Donnelly takes the lead. So the number 41 Sim Boys car out in front, and he's actually got Todd Maxfield there with him as well. Sorry, it's not Parry Anastakis. I thought it was because it was the grey car. It's Todd Maxfield in the number 16. So there were actually 4 of the Sim Boys cars in the top 5 with Adam Malone. So Adam a little bit outnumbered up the front there, but he's putting in a hell of a fight. Gets his nose in front for second place over Cade Donnelly as Todd Maxfield takes the lead. And, there may be a little bit of positional swapping going on here within the team. But later on in the race, I think whoever wants to check it badly enough will actually take it. We shall see how we go. Todd Maxfield leads this one from Adam Malone, Cade Donnelly, Gary Wellman and Troy Davidson. So 4 out of those 5 are Sim Boys. No Craig Roffey tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So not quite sure what Craig's up to, but we've got Rick Vincent, Tony Roffey and Parry Anastakis from Rogue Motorsport. So we'll see what they can do in the later stages. They're going to want to put another road car at the front. It's as simple as that. A road car won round 1, and they're going to want to see another road car get at least onto the podium for this one. So I expect to see some real battles. As I said, 40 lead changes last round at Texas Motor Speedway, and I'm not really expecting it to be any different here tonight. But the Sim Boys really putting their stamp on this one, and really just muscling up. Adam Malone, really the only one's taking it up to him at the moment in the number 3 car from Southern Stars and Mish's XL Garage. As we take a look at what's happening behind him as Adam takes the lead from Todd Maxfield, followed by Cade Donnelly, Gary Wellman and Troy Davidson rounds out your 5. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th with the Sim Boys as we go back another couple of spots and we take a look at the boys mixing it up there from 6th place backwards. And I noticed Aiden Schulz there somewhere. Phil Otto is in the mix there, sitting in about 7th. So some great racing coming there at the front. There's Parry Anastakis on the inside line in that grey Rogue Motorsport vehicle with Aiden Schulz right behind him in that pink and black Mustang from Quantum Motorsports. No Brett Campbell tonight either, unfortunately. Would have been great to see Brett come back. I think he probably would have done well here tonight at this track. Not all that different from running at Texas, and he had a really good run last week until a couple of little mishaps sort of really put paid to his efforts. But he was battling in the top 5 there for quite some time last round. So unfortunately, Brett not here tonight. So the only yellow car out there, I believe, is Tony Roffey, because we're also missing Adam St. John and Luke Keamy. So no bright pink car or bright yellow car from Full Ball. And Ryan Andrews has not made it from the US. We are a few down. We've got 16 starters tonight. We had 21 last week. So that pretty much covers the difference in the number of starters from last round to this round. And but as I said earlier, Derek Jacobs right in the middle of the pack there. Because we've got 16 starters, I expect to see a lot of green flag racing. It took more than 20 laps before we got our first caution at Texas Motor Speedway in round 1. We'll see what the boys can do here this week at Kentucky, legacy version. So a little bit bumpier out there. The track surface, not really what it could be, but we opted in the series to go with the legacy version, and there will be night. Bit of a bump up the rear there on Todd Maxfield from Aiden Schulz, I believe that was. Aiden letting his presence be known there and given a bit of a wave to Todd Maxfield. So I'm sure Todd was a little bit disturbed by that. A bit of a butt clencher. He thought he might have actually gotten out of shape there, but he managed to catch it. So a great catch, a great bit of driving there from Todd Maxfield in the number 16 car. And he took the lead back and Aiden gave him a bit of a rub. So Aiden's moved his way through the field at the moment. Derek Jacobs has now dropped back just another couple of spots down on that inside line. They were basically 3 wide there for a moment while I was taking a look at where Derek was. And they've gone back to the 2 wide at the moment. And Shannon Wright still towards the back a little bit there. He'll probably be biding his time, waiting for an opportunity to get forward. So, yeah, unfortunate to see a few of the guys didn't make it this week. After winning last round, it would have been great to see if Craig Roffey could repeat that, go back-to-back. But obviously, oh, no, actually, I do see him out there. Yep, I do see Craig Roffey out there, and, he's sitting in ninth position at the moment. Hadn't actually spotted that green and black Rogue vehicle, so my mistake. Better get my glasses checked, I think. Parry Anastakis down on that inside line, challenging for a front spot in this at the moment. He's just got his nose in front of Todd Maxfield and goes off after Aidan Schulz, who's now taken the lead away from Maxfield. And Kate Donnelly down on the inside, that number 41 Simboy's Mustang. He's actually going to challenge Maxfield there as Parry Anastakis drops back in behind Maxfield, loses out in that battle. He was challenging on the inside, and he's actually moved in back into about fourth position at the moment. We are 7 minutes and 26 seconds into this one. Okay. We've got a timer issue. It's ignoring. It's 1 hour and 7 minutes. I was going to say, I thought we'd been going for a bit longer than that, but yeah, no worries. And so a bit of a timing issue. So it is 1 hour and 7 minutes, as you see on the clock there. The overlay is now in time, whereas it was laps last round, but it's not actually displaying the full time because it's it's just teething issues with the overlay and the programming on it. We'll have to take a look at that again for the next round in a couple of weeks and see if we can get that sorted. But so you're not seeing things. We don't only have 6 minutes to go. We've got a bit over an hour, so plenty of great green flag racing to come as these boys really, almost three wide there at the moment. And I'll just take a bit of a look at something on the socials. There's nobody in there at the moment. So we'll see how we're going as the race goes on. And we are, three wide. We are three wide. So there you go. Plenty happening out there on track at the moment. And we are on lap 17 of a 75-minute timed race. And as I said, about an hour and 5 minutes to go. So plenty of great racing to come. Their front runners sitting nose to tail there sort of at the moment, Adam Malone and Troy Davidson, our pole sitter. As there we see Craig Roffey, who I thought wasn't here actually, so my mistake. Once again, bit of a senior moment. So sorry to Craig for not realising he was out there. So we'll have to see what Craig can do with this. I'm sure he'd love nothing more than to go back-to-back and win the first two rounds of this and really stamp his authority on the series with only 4 rounds to go after this one. Just a reminder that we've got plenty of stuff happening in iRacing to come. The summer series goes through until the 19th of January. And by then, we will have plenty of opportunity to test some releases out of the 2025 Season 1 patch as we get the Gen 3 V8 supercars to the Camaro and the full-size Mustang rather than the Porsche version. And that will be fantastic. I'm looking forward to doing some testing with that, as a lot of people are, a lot of guys chomping at the bit. And it's a big belief that will bring people back to V8 supercar racing. We had these since 2019. So 5 years of racing the Gen 2 cars, and now we finally get our hands on the Gen 3. Just in time for probably Gen 4, I'd say. Now, as we got a couple of guys coming together there, a little bit of a touch-up, I think, was between Todd Maxfield and Parry Anastakis, maybe. Lap 20, and we are actually down to 1 hour and 4 minutes of racing left to go. So a bit over 10 minutes of racing so far and 20 laps in. So we'll see how we go with Kay Donnelly in behind Aidan Schulz there at the moment. And we get back to the racing. Parry Anastakis on the inside, tailing Todd Maxfield there at the moment. Adam Malone on the outside behind Troy Davidson. Craig Roffey in the middle there, 3 wide. As we take a look at Derek Jacobs, who's moved up towards the front of the field. As Gary Wellman drops back a bit, he's in front of Phil Otto there on the outside a moment in that red 310 Mustang. And a bit of a battle going on here again for another lead change between Todd Maxfield and Aidan Schulz. And we are going to go and honour some sponsors at the moment. And we're going to talk about a very special event that's coming up very soon. And we're going to talk about that some point after this break. Stick around, come back. We'll be here. We'll be racing.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future. If you
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallenVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallenVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallenVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallenVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
To Kentucky Speedway as we take in round 2 of the Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing League Summer Series for 2024-25, brought to you by Inside Lane Productions and proudly sponsored by Everything Simulated. And speaking of Everything Simulated, we've got one of the Everything Simulated guys out there tonight. I don't believe Jared Williams made it. I haven't seen him out there. Actually, that's another one that's missing as well, is Jared Williams. So we've got a few guys that didn't make it this week, so I'm not quite sure what the deal is there. Maybe people have got something on. Coming into that time of the year, unfortunately, and Christmas parties and holidays and all that sort of stuff. But we've got Aidan Schulz leading us narrowly from Rick Vincent. And these two guys had a fair old running battle last round at Texas 2 weeks ago. And I think they're both fairly conscious of the fact that after last round, the admins are watching, and Race Review does not want to see a repeat of what took place last week, whether intentional or accidental. We don't want to see that again. Those guys came together 2 or 3 times, and Aidan came off second best in a big way, with so much damage to the car he had to actually end up putting it onto the transporter. So we take a look and see what's going on. He maintains that lead, but now Todd Maxfield is all over the back of Aidan Schulz, challenging for the position in second. Rick Vincent down that inside line with, I think that's Gary Wellman in behind him in the number 45 green Simboy's car, as Todd Maxfield, who's having a ripper run here tonight, he's going to take the lead back again, looking for those bonus points. So we'll see what he can do here. Craig Roffey now getting into the mix again. He's sitting right behind as they are 3 wide, coming around through the turn there. Parry Anastakis with Todd Maxfield in the middle and Aidan Schulz on the outside. Craig Roffey sitting in behind Todd Maxfield and Rick Vincent in behind Parry Anastakis. So you've got a couple of the road boys sitting there watching to see what is actually going to happen here and waiting to pounce if there's an opportunity. So these guys need to keep it clean because there's 2 or 3 guys sitting at the front here right behind the leaders. And now Craig Roffey darts through and takes the lead on the inside line ahead of Todd Maxfield. Rick Vincent drops back a couple of spots in behind his teammate Parry Anastakis on that inside line, and he'll see what he can do with it. Todd Maxfield drops down a bit, then up a bit, goes back to the outside, looking for a way around Craig Roffey, our round one winner. And Todd, his first round of this series, he ran several rounds of Series 1, which completed a couple of months ago. And Craig Roffey maintains that lead over Todd Maxfield, and in behind him, we've got Cade Donnelly back in the mix again. Parry Anastakis in behind him, and Tony Roffey now in behind Parry Anastakis, sitting in 5th place. So challenging for a spot at the front, but still 56.5 minutes to go. And the clock is running down pretty quickly, but unfortunately, the laps are not. So we'll probably get more laps in tonight. I see this going green for quite some time. There we go. I've just done it. Commentator's curse. The jinx has been dished out, and we'll see what these guys can do to avoid actually having any contact and a problem out there. But just taking a look at the, as far as laps are concerned, lap 35 is what we've just clicked over with 56 minutes and 0 seconds on the clock as I said it. So Todd Maxfield back to the front again with Cade Donnelly going through side by side with Craig Roffey at the moment. So plenty of what we saw at Texas going on already here tonight. Lots of lead changes going on. Expected that, as I said. Not that different running here it is at Texas, and we had 40 lead changes. So we'll see what we end up with tonight. Let's do an over or under. The bar has been set, 40 lead changes. If you're out there watching, get into the live chat on YouTube. We have, yes, completed 35 laps, and lead changes so far, 12. Will we go more lead changes than we did at Texas? That was 40. Will we beat that? Let us know by getting into the live chat on YouTube for the broadcast. Let us know what it is you think that's going to happen. Will we go under or over? And also tonight, we're looking at giving away an entry to an event that's coming up at the moment. Now, it's the Bathurst Clash. We're just going to talk about that for just a moment. We're going to take a look at it, and it's the Bathurst Clash, and it's hosted by the iRacing Stock Car Association. It's the Gen 7 Cup cars at Mount Panorama, Bathurst. Yes, we're going to race full-size NASCARs on the mountain at Mount Panorama. One of the best tracks in the world, and probably the best track in Australia. It would have to be one of the most challenging tracks in the world, up there with Nordschleife and a couple of others as well. We will actually be racing on December the 7th, Australian time, at 12 p.m. And December 6th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US. 61 laps with stage breaks, top 10 shootout. Prize pool is first $50, second $30, third $20. That is US currency. Trophies will be provided by Everything Simulated. And the entry fee is $7.50 US, so it's around about the $12 mark, maybe a little more depending on how the dollar is going. And that prize pool will go up after the first 10 entries. Open setups, 1.5K I rating and a C license. Live race control, 1 green, white checker, 6 sets of tyres, request to tow, and 44 pit stalls. Open setups. That is going to be interesting, but I am led to believe somebody is going to be creating a setup that the guys can use and modify if they know what to do with it, and that is being done, I believe, by Team Watson Racing Setups, sponsoring the event, along with Everything Simulated, Inside Lane Productions, and Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing. That is hosted by the ISCA, and we'll have a couple of their usual Cup Series commentators in there. At least we're going to have Big Al. We may have Brian Britt there, and myself, yes, yours truly, is going to sit there and try and sound like he actually is an expert and knows what he's talking about when it comes to Cup cars at the mountain. So we'll see how we go with that. But back to the racing at the moment. And remember those dates, take a look at that. Wind it back a little bit if you need some more details. Take a look at it, and keep in mind that's December 7th Australian time. It's a Saturday. December 6th US time is a Friday night. So we'll go back to the racing now at the moment, and it's just taking a look at what we've got as Adam Malone is now in the lead. Parianastakis has just dropped back to third place, as I say that, behind Kate Donnelly, who's taken second. And on the outside, I see Gary Wellman in fourth, Aidan Schulz back in fifth, and in behind him, I believe, is Craig Roffey. Then we've got a couple of more of the Sim Boys cars. I think it's Todd Maxfield and Troy Davidson. And I'm getting it right this week, Troy. I'm actually pronouncing the D. It's not silent. And we're watching these guys putting on a fantastic show. 51 minutes to go. So we are nearly 25 minutes into this one, about 24 minutes. And that's actually, in fact, lap-wise, that's lap 44. So some fantastic racing going on here. If you're actually in the socials at the moment, I'm just going to take a bit of a look at what you've got to say, and there isn't anybody. So there we go. But, yep, we're doing an over-under. If you're watching the broadcast, and I know there are people out there, I can see you. I just don't know who you are. Get into the live chat. You only got to subscribe, and that means you won't miss anything. It costs you nothing. Subscribe. 1 minute later, you'll be able to post in the live chat. Let us know, over or under. Are we going to go under 40 lead changes or over 40 lead changes? And I think that now puts us up to around about 15 or 16, maybe more. We're on 14, I've just been informed by the producer, Kobe Jordan. So that's who's pushing the buttons tonight. And I didn't actually do introductions at the start, but I'm Steve Hoppett and Kobe Jordan pushing the buttons for Inside Lane Productions, giving us the great pictures and camera angles while I sit and talk myself into a brain embolism as we continue on with Adam Malone at the front. Number 41, sitting in second place at the moment, that's Kate Donnelly. And Parianastakis still third place there at the moment. And I believe Gary Wellman's still in fourth, and Aidan Schulz rounds out the top five. We're going to take a quick ad break at the moment, on to some sponsors as we see what these guys can do with this green flag racing. Fantastic stuff. Stick around. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to round 2 of the Summer Series for 24-25 for Oz Oval, V8 Supercars Oval Racing, as brought to you by Everything Simulated, Inside Lane Productions, and streaming exclusively through the Quasi Esports YouTube channel. As we get to lap 51 with 46 minutes left on the clock, race time, as we watch Tristan Koch coming out of the pits, but the green flag pit stops have begun. Derek Jacobs, one of the first in, as well as Michael Latta. And now we see the leaders coming in on lap 51. They started to come in and do those. As Wellman comes in, hits his pit bay, and Kate Donnelly leaves his. So plenty of swapping going on out there at the moment. That tower is now incorrect because Wellman's in the pits. But Perry Anastakis has probably inherited the lead over his teammate Craig Roffey. And there's Kate Donnelly, number 41 for Simboys, back out on track. Adam Malone looks like he's up to third. So Roffey's now taken the lead away from Anastakis. Then Malone, Donnelly, Davidson, Schulz, Vincent, Roffey and Maxfield, I think, is your top 10. But some of those guys are actually in the pits or leaving the pits. So that may be a little bit out of order. It'll fix itself up when they cross the line next time, or we'll see it actually sort itself out, which it's starting to do now. And it's got Craig Roffey at the top from Adam Malone and Perry Anastakis. That's your top 3 at the moment. Donnelly into 4th and Davidson into 5th. Gary Wellman, Rick Vincent, Aidan Schulz in 8th, Tony Roffey in 9th, and Todd Maxfield in 10th. So Todd's back a little bit. Phil Otto, then Peter Matson in 12th. Shannon Wright 13th, Tristan Koch 14th, Michael Latta 15th, and Derek Jacobs down 14 laps at the moment. But I did say earlier that Derek was not well tonight and actually informed us he was going to chill out a bit at the back. So I think he's had a couple of long stops and gone for a drink and that sort of stuff. Got to look after himself. So good on you, Derek. Keep those fluids up, mate. Keep hydrated, and just come out, do a couple of laps, and go in, take a bit of a break if you need to, and look after yourself. As we see Craig Roffey still continuing to lead this from Adam Malone and Perry Anastakis. That's your top 3 at the moment, with a couple of sim boys in behind in Donnelly, Davidson, and then Wellman in 6th, and then another rogue driver in 7th as Rick Vincent. Aidan Schulz still holding down 8th position. So Aidan's having a fairly clean run tonight. A little bit of a tap on the back of Todd Maxfield earlier on, but that was just good hard racing, a little bit of rubbing going on. So, Aidan's having a pretty good run tonight. Fairly clean and not really pushing it as hard. Sometimes he pushes it a little bit too hard and just gets a little bit game. Whereas tonight he seems to be a little bit more measured and sort of pacing himself just a little. He knows there's a long way to go. We've still got 43 minutes and 20 seconds of race time still to go. So it's still plenty of time for something to happen as far as the lead changes and stuff like that's concerned. If you are watching the broadcast, as I said, if you're not subscribed to the channel, why not? Why are you not subscribed to the Quasi Esports YouTube channel? You need to be, because then you can actually chat. So, and you won't miss anything. You'll get notifications for all our races, our live broadcasts, any videos that we put up. There's a lot of content on there, and get in there. It costs nothing to be subscribed, and all it is doing you a favour, because then you don't miss out on anything. Turn on your notifications. Give the video a like as well, because the boys are doing a great job out there tonight, and they all want to see. We all want to see a nice clean race as well. Some people enjoy the accidents, and they do happen. Long way to go. 43 minutes still to go on this one. Well, actually, it's less than that now. As we take another look at it, it's 42 minutes. So lots of racing to come. Lots of things can happen. Craig Roffey in behind Adam Malone, who has actually taken the lead away from him. Perry Anastakis still holding down that position there as the sun starts to go down. But obviously, with the realistic weather, if the because it is realistic weather, and it takes it from a certain day and time. So obviously in Kansas, it's fairly light over there on July the 7th. Well, that's their summer season. So you might even have to start going until a very late start in some of the future races, just to make sure that we do get those cars racing under lights, because it's spectacular stuff to watch, and it's really fun for the drivers. They do enjoy it. Well, they enjoy that more than they do rain on a road course, I can tell you that much. So Craig Roffey's now taken the lead back. Parry Anastakis has gone through Kate Donnelly up to third, and Malone has actually gone from the lead back to fourth position. Not really sure why. I didn't see anything untoward happen. I think he might have just been outpaced on the inside line there, as Rick Vincent and Hayden Schulz sitting there looking at each other going, do we or don't we? Well, keep it going, guys. Doing well. Nice and clean racing, good hard racing here at Kentucky Speedway. 16 starters, and I believe we've still got 16, although Derek Jacobs has dropped now another couple of laps. Michael Ladder's down a lap now. So obviously pit stop there for Michael, I would say. Everybody else, the other 14 cars, all on the lead lap, as Roffey continues to lead from Parry Anastakis. Kay Donnelly, and I think, is that Troy Davidson's now? Yep, Troy Davidson moving up, trying to force his way towards the front, sitting in fourth place. Adam Malone in fifth, and Gary Wellman rounds out the top six now. That's the top half a dozen. Aidan Schulz up a spot to seventh, with Rick Vincent in eighth. Tony Roffey ninth, and Todd Maxfield still rounding out the top 10. Phil Otto back in 11th. So we've got a bit of a pack at the back there with Otto, Matson, Wright, Kosh, and Latter is now, I think, back on the lead lap according to the timer. So we'll have to keep an eye on how Michael's going out there. But yeah, some fantastic racing. 39 minutes left on the clock. Green flag all the way. So green flag pit stops, and so far no cautions. But lots of lead changes. Air temp's down to 78 degrees and the track temp up to 80. It's down as well. It's getting a bit cooler out there as the evening wears on. It was 83 when we started, now down to 81. Wind has changed a bit of direction there. It's coming from the southwest now, and the wind speed has dropped down to just over 6 miles per hour. Still mostly cloudy out there in Sparta, Kentucky, and we are... Everything's holding fairly steady weather-wise there, 6.1 mile per hour on the wind speed. So some fantastic conditions out there. The boys, as I said, they've got 4 sets of tyres total for this one. 75-minute race, 38 minutes left on the clock, just under 39. And that actually makes it lap-wise. They are actually on lap 65 now. So probably about a little less than halfway through where I expect them to get to on the number of laps. As I said, we had, 3 cautions last week, and we got 131 laps in the 75 minutes. We have gone 65 green so far. So hopefully the cautions won't cause an issue. But with the 16 cars or 15 cars on track, I don't see it being too much of a problem unless somebody gets a bit of fatigue and their mind starts to wander. It happens. And a little bit of a misjudgment, a bad call, trying to take a position. And all you got to do is just have a little bit of a tap for the guy in front or behind, and anything can happen. You can get spun around, go into the wall, something like that, and that would bring out a caution. So it would be sad to see that happen. It'd be very interesting to see if another green flag pit stop actually mixes things up even more. But the boys got 51 laps. The leaders actually came in on laps 51, 52, depending who it was. So yeah, they got a lot of laps out of that first set of tyres and that first tank of fuel. So we're probably going to be a 2-stopper unless we get a caution. That'll blow that out of the water. But yeah, get into the YouTube live chat. Let us know whether we'll go over or under the 40 lap lead changes. 40 lead changes at Texas in round 1. Will we go over or under? Let's see what you think out there. Get into the live chat and see what you think. But as I said, fantastic events coming up, for fantastic racing Another 4 rounds after this one, 6-round fortnightly championship, taking us through to mid-January or just beyond mid-January. And by then, we'll actually have the Gen 3 cars and we'll be testing with those. So far, we've had 19 lead changes with 67 laps completed. So we're getting up to about half of the lead changes that we had before, and we're nearly at halfway in the race. So Craig Roffey's taken the lead back from Parianastakis, and in behind him, he's gotten in front of Cade Donnelly, then Troy Davidson. Adam Malone still hanging out there at about 5th spot. Aidan Schills looked like he gave the wall a bit of a tap there. And looked like he might have just oversteered a little bit. So a little bit lucky there. Rick Vincent probably saw that and thanked his lucky stars. He was actually back a little bit behind Aidan. So Aidan will have damage from that because that was a noticeable tap on the wall. I didn't see too much smoke, but it was definitely a hard touch on the wall there. A bit more than a rub or a kiss, that's for sure. Hanging around on the outside there, Aidan Schills. Trying to actually not let that bother him. He would have washed off a little bit of speed there when he did that. But he's still hanging there on the outside. He's still got a fair bit of pace in that car and there's not a huge amount of damage on it. So he might have gotten away with that as Rick Vincent sitting just down on the inside there on the low line, on the inside of Gary Wellman, who's in behind Aidan Schills, who in turn sits in behind Adam Malone in the Southern Stars Mish's XL Garage car. So he's the only Southern Stars driver that's actually made it to the Summer Series at this point. We did expect the numbers to be down from a full championship, but would have been good to have a few more guys here. We had 21 last week, as I said, and we started with 16 tonight. I think we've got 15 with Derek Jacobs, I think, is sitting in the pits. Don't know whether he's rejoined, but he's now 32 laps down. But Derek wasn't well, as I said, so he's taken care of himself, and that's the main thing. It's most important. You cannot undervalue your health, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot do it because take it from somebody who often does. And believe me, you have more problems down the track than you would if you took care of yourself. So it's a bit like a car that's got a problem. If you don't fix it, eventually it's going to cost you 3 times as much. And it can very well easily happen with what was I saying? I've gone completely blank. Oh, yes, with your health, yes. So take care of that and take care of yourselves as we take another look at what's going on. Parianastakis to the lead in front of Craig Roffey, ahead of Cade Donnelly, Rick Vincent and Troy Davidson. And I just realised for the last couple of minutes I've been watching the delay. So the commentary doesn't actually account for pigeon poop at the moment. But we're back here on the live feed, so we've got it all going on. As they bunch up in the middle there, they're really getting bunched up at the moment. And this is where things could happen. Rick Vincent down in that inside line, chasing his teammate Parianastakis at the front. And we've got 2 Sim boys on the outside. Cade Donnelly ahead of Troy Davidson. Gary Wellman back there as this pack continues to dominate the laps while the back half of the field are a little bit more spread out and quite a way back. So we'll see what happens here with 32 minutes and 54 seconds on the clock. Parianastakis continues to lead this. Craig Roffey almost moving down the inside of his teammate, but didn't get the opportunity. Parry blocked that one off and shut the door. And then Craig Roffey noticed that Cade Donnelly was trying to find a way to put his nose down the inside there as well, and decided that was the best thing to deal with rather than chasing his teammate for the lead. You can't open the door to Cade Donnelly because he will take the opportunity and he will get through on you if you actually let him. So don't make it any easier for him. That's the whole key. They want it, they got to fight for it. So the boys down on the inside line now. Anastakis ahead of Roffey, Donnelly, Vincent, and Aidan back up to 5th after that touch on the wall. Although I think he's 5th behind Rick Vincent. And he's got Troy Davidson in behind him and Adam Malone sitting in 7th. So Phil Otto all the way back in about, I think he's actually about 10th or 11th at the moment. Derek Jacobs looks like he's actually pulled the plug. He's down to 38 laps down. As Phil Otto takes up 10th place, Max Field's in front of him in 9th. So they've moved up a spot from where they were a few minutes ago. As we come up to 31 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. And we're going to take a short break so that you don't have to listen to my voice for the next minute or so. We'll be back shortly.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future. If you
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Oh, and welcome back. The boys are having a blast out there in round 2 at Kentucky Speedway for the Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing Summer Series for 2024-25 as we start to wind things down for the year. Fortnightly series, 6 races. And we've got another 4 after this one. Charlotte Auto Club, then I go blank on what it is, but the final round is at Daytona. So a super speedway to finish things off on the 19th of January. But Aidan Schulz is now in the lead of this one and goes pretty close to giving the wall another touch there. He's been sticking to that outside quite a bit tonight and trying to keep it clean, but the wall's been getting in his way, I think, more than anything else, as he continues to lead this from Craig Roffey. The lights are on the cars and the track. We got 25 minutes to go. Just not as dark out there as I thought it would have been for you know, I think it's probably around 9 o'clock track time at the moment. But yeah, it's not getting that dark out there. So we'll see how things progress. The next round will probably start another hour after that. So it was set for an 8 p.m. start with qualifying and that sort of stuff. So we'll see how we'll 7 p.m. Sorry. So I thought that might have been enough to get the darkness happening and get some nighttime racing. As I said, starting to get dark. You can see the lights shining on the track there, and the track lights are on. So we're getting what we wanted. Just hasn't gotten as dark as I expected it to. So we'll go even later next time and have the boys racing at midnight. There you go. But yeah, Aidan Schulz still leads from Craig Roffey, Kate Donnelly, Rick Vincent, all the way down to that inside line as Roffey and Donnelly get bunched right up in behind Aidan Schulz. So Aidan is being absolutely assaulted there at the moment. And I believe he's just tapped the wall again. So not quite sure what's going on with Aidan. He doesn't normally tap the wall now. Oh, there we go. So spoke too soon. I think Cade was trying to make a move on Aidan. We'll take a look at a replay of that so we can see what's going on. But with 24 minutes on the clock, we are under caution. And interesting, I see that the race... Oh, okay then. All right. So here we go. Let's just take this back. We've got a problem with our overlays and our ATVO at the moment in the production booth. Kobe's working on it. But we'll take a look at what's actually occurred here. Aidan holding it to the outside. Cade Donnelly. Oh, okay. So Cade's actually followed Craig Roffey, who's moved a bit more to the outside. Cade Donnelly has actually followed Craig Roffey across. And Aidan Schulz, completely innocent bystander in that one. Just a bit of a brain fart from Kate Donnelly there, and he actually cleans up Aidan. So hopefully the damage is not too bad for those, and the boys will pit while they've got the chance under caution. And we are rebooting our ATVO. So while we're under caution, we'll take in a quick ad, get these overlay problems sorted out, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stick around.
you served and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At fallinveteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
And welcome back to Kentucky. We've got some problems sorted out there now and honoured some sponsorships at the same time. So everything's simulated, and they are providing prizes for the series podium at the end of this one, and we're looking forward to that. The Series 1 championship was 13 rounds, and believe me, the plaques were absolutely beautiful. Guys were absolutely stoked with them. First, second, third for Series Podium, which was Gary Wellman, Jamie Nankervis, and of course Craig Roffey, and they were very, very happy with getting those in the mail. And except for the poor old Shannon Wright there, he decided to save on some postage because apparently Jamie Nankervis lives within walking distance, so he took it around and used it as an excuse to have a drink, and gave him his trophy for second place in the series. So fantastic stuff, and very, very appreciated by the drivers, the series organisers, the admins, the broadcasters. Everybody thought it was just fantastic. Everything simulated, do a fantastic job. If you're looking for sim gear, get onto them, check them out. They are on Facebook, they're everywhere. Check them out. Shannon Wright's the man to speak to, and if you go to find him on Facebook, drop him a message, and he'll be on you. He's 24 hours a day. He watches Facebook, I think. He's like a bat, just hangs upside down from the roof, and keeps one eye on the on the screen so that he knows when somebody gets a message and it just pings and he goes, "Yep, I'll do that." And so he goes and answers it. So great stuff. Well, it's not quite that bad, but yeah, Shannon, man to talk to at Everything Simulated. As Rick Vincent now takes control of this field off the restart, and Adam Malone goes with him, gets a decent start, but Rick Vincent's got a better one. And Gary Wellman now up into third place, and Adam Malone's now made up that slight little gap. He got a good start, but Rick's was just really good, just straight out of the blocks. So Rick Vincent now leads this from Adam Malone, Gary Wellman, Troy Davidson, and Craig Roffey. So our Series 1 champ up to second place, and our winner from round 1 of the Summer Series in 5th place. So there's a bit of a challenge going on there. See what the boys can do. And we've got 18 minutes to go. We are really coming down to it. One caution we've had. That's just brilliant racing. And that is, believe it or not, one caution in 97 laps of V8 supercar racing around this beautiful old legacy oval at Kentucky. I love some of the old tracks. The new surfaces are nice, but really the old ones, like the old version of Daytona, Legacy Daytona from 2008. It's a bumpy track, and but I enjoy rating on it. It's fantastic stuff. So I don't know what the boys are going through out there. We'll talk about the track surface later on. It may not be as bumpy as I remember it, but it's just a bit rough more than anything else. The new version's got a nice smooth surface to it. So we'll see how the boys went. With the higher wear's obviously not too bad because they got through 51 laps before that first green flag pit stop. So it's obviously not that hard on the rubber. So it may just be a bit bumpy and uncomfortable, but it's not that hard on the rubber. So we'll see how we go. I think I'm harder on my rubber than the cars are at the moment. Anyway, Kate Donnelly into the pits. Not quite sure what's going on there, but he might be having a few issues. Maybe maybe tyres. Not sure. He didn't seem to cop a lot of damage when he came together with Aidan Schulz earlier, but we'll see how he goes. 16 minutes on the clock as Rick Vincent continues to lead this one from Gary Wellman and Adam Malone. That's your top three. Troy Davidson working his way around the outside. And great to see that red Mustang on the inside there, mid-track at the moment. He's dropped in behind Craig Roffey, who's come down to the mid-track. And that's Phil Otto in the 310 car. And the Kingsman Gaming sponsorship, Kingsman Racing, sponsorship. And we'll see what Phil can do from this point on. With 16 minutes to go, this is when you really need to be pushing. This is the point in the race where you've got to be in a decent position to make a charge for the podium or a win. And just taking a look at the laps that we've actually completed, we are over 100 laps now, 101, and we got 16 minutes on the clock. So we'll see what the boys can do with this as 15 and a half minutes now. And they're bunching up at the front. They are three wide for both all the positions, really. Roffey in behind Wellman as they start to sort themselves out now. Things are starting to get to that point where the boys are going to start to push and shove. But Wellman looks like he's taken the lead on this one from Craig Roffey. Rick Vincent alongside Adam Malone in the top four there. They're battling for third position. And I think that's Todd Maxfield making a comeback in fifth position. It looks like a grey Simboys car with the number 16 on the side. No, it's not. Actually, he's a couple of spots further back. Just trying to see who that is. I think it's Pariana Starkus, might be, from Rogue Motorsports. But too many grey cars out there at the moment. So same colour cars. Speaking of dark-coloured cars, Tristan Koch. Not seen much of Tristo. He's back a bit further in the field at the moment, in 8th position. So he's just in behind this pack here. There he is there, the 550 car. He's in behind Phil Otto. So those guys are battling for position at the moment. And Tristo having a pretty decent run there inside the top 10 as Roffey takes the lead away from Wellman with Rick Vincent in third and Adam Malone in fourth. And there's Aidan Schulz also in the mix at the moment, sitting around about 6th or 7th position, I believe. No, he's actually further back than that. He's in around about 9th. So Aidan Schulz in 12th. Sorry, I can't count. And just looking at what's happening, they are virtually four wide now as we get down to 13 minutes and 45 seconds of race time. And it's getting right down to it. That's probably looking at about another 20, 25 laps of this one as we complete lap 105 in this 75-minute race, hour and a quarter, and we got less than 15 minutes to go. 13 minutes on the clock. What can they do with it? Troy Davidson inside the 5, and he's battling Rick Vincent. He drops 2 wheels below the yellow line just to give a bit of racing room and keep away from Rick Vincent there. He didn't want to come together with him. He's right on that inside line. He's challenging Craig Roffey at the moment. And, and the boys have come together that were trying to avoid one another. Our second caution, Rick Vincent in the wars again. I think that might have been on Troy Davidson, but we'll take a look at a replay and see what we could do with it. Adam Malone caught up in that. Oh, what an absolute shame, because he was wrong place, wrong time. We'll see what happens here. Not quite sure what's going on. Troy Davidson moves in behind Roffey and, just moves up the track a little bit too far and collects Rick Vincent. So a couple of the Sim boys, a little bit of a blind spot on their right there tonight for some reason. Second caution, and it's almost a carbon copy of what happened in the first one early on. And Aidan Schulz has gone to avoid the cars on track and absolutely demolished the front of that Quantum Motorsport Mustang. So, we're going to take a look at it. I think this is from Aidan Schulz's point of view. You can see the smoke, the cars, everybody dives left. And, he's collected Adam Malone and straight into Rick Vincent. Absolutely nowhere for Aidan to go there. He did the right thing. He went to the infield. but he has absolutely killed that number 52 Mustang. So what an absolute shame. As we take a look at Peter Matson sitting at the front now in the number 173 car. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the wrong livery is loaded for Pete. And we had a word about it during warm-up or practice. And he's definitely got the right number displayed on the windows. Just the wrong livery's loaded. So it's actually got his number on that, painted on that vehicle as a custom number for a different league or competition that he races in. So poor old Pete Matson sitting there at the front. Whether he has pitted or whether he's going to, I don't know. Under 11 minutes to go with lap number 108 has actually been completed. And 10 minutes, 43 seconds. Now we've got, trying to see who that is behind him. Pete Matson. Oh, yes. Okay, yep. No, so it did look like a different livery. I must have been looking at a different car. But yeah, so at the moment we've got Matson, Roffey, Tony Roffey, and Gary Wellman. Sorry. Just trying to sort out these cars here, get a little bit confused because of pit stops and stuff as the boys sort themselves out on track. There's Tristo sitting there, Tristan Kosh. Shannon Wright has moved up in behind Tristo. Pariana Starkis. Not sure what Tony Roffey's actually doing. He might be going to pit because he's a lap down, so he's going to the back. Okay, so he's getting an end of line penalty or something. I think he might have actually passed under caution. That might give him the end of line. I'm not sure, but we'll work it out. Right, okay, we sorted it out, and the boys are getting themselves together. iRacing has actually put him to the back because he was out of order. So, yeah. So he's been requested to end of line. So he'll go to the back. That's Tony Roffey in the number 85, I believe. But your order at the moment, as we see Tony Roffey, and he's going into the pits. So, okay, very odd time to pit. He's had a couple of laps to do it so far and hasn't. But I'm sure he'll work it out. Derek Jacobs still sitting in the pits. Aidan Schill's Mustang, look, very sad and sorry on that car. Rick Vincent also in the pits trying to repair the damage that he got in that. He was having a fantastic run tonight, Rick Vincent. And the boys trying to keep away from one another, and all of a sudden it happens. As I said, a little bit of fatigue steps in, and all of a sudden little mistakes start to creep in, especially in these late stages of the race when the guys are really putting the pedal to the metal and trying extra hard. As the pace car continues to lead this field around with 8 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock. Peter Matson will lead them away. Tony Roffey has come out of the pits and rejoined at rear of field. Rick Vincent remains in the pits, I believe, repairing quite a bit of damage. He got fairly well mauled pretty hard in all that, and through no real fault of his own. These things do happen. The slightest contact can cause it, especially in these cars. That's been mentioned plenty of times throughout our broadcasts, going back right through the Series 1 championship. And Peter Matson gets a decent start, moves away under green with Gary Wellman on the outside, Craig Roffey in behind. So we'll see what happens. Can Matto actually hold this spot, or will the flock of seagulls behind him absolutely converge on him like a chip? Not too sure, but Roffey's all over the back of him, and he's actually got Roffey on the inside, Wellman on the outside, and he splits the two of those. Todd Maxfield now down on the inside as well. Phil Otto moving around the outside. He'll probably pull down the mid-track in behind Peter Matson with 6 minutes and 49 seconds on the clock. And we've got Todd Maxfield right in behind Craig Roffey. These boys are starting to get fairly serious now. This is the point of the race where the little things start to creep in. As we've said and as we've seen, little mistakes happen. 2 cautions though. Not much that we can really sort of say about that. It happens. But not sure how many lead changes we've had. Just checking the socials. There's no comments in there. Oh, yes, there is. Good day to Sarah Kay. She's saying good day to myself and Kobe Jordan, the producer. So great to have you commenting in there, Sarah, and great to have you along for the broadcast. So we'll see what we can actually get out of this last 6 minutes and 1 second, as we've got Wellman and Roffey at it again at the front with Todd Maxfield. Not quite in line with them. They're not quite 3 wide, but they are now 2 wide as Maxfield pulls up alongside Wellman, with Roffey taking the lead on his own. They were battling for the lead. Wellman goes back to the outside. Roffey continues mid-track. He'll move down to that inside line here and try and cut off any avenue for Todd Maxfield and shut the door on that move. As Matson goes to the outside, Phil Otto on his inside in that 310 Kingsman Racing Mustang. Great to see Phil up so far in towards the front of the field. As we take a look at that's pretty much the whole field there, folks. I think that's everybody is now caught up because of the pace car. So the field gets to bunch up a little bit, but starting to break up a little bit more again. A couple of gaps starting to open there and break up into 3 groups. We've got the front 4 and then 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th in a pack with a couple of car lengths in front of them. And then there's a few car lengths back to the last 4 or 5 cars in the field. But Roffey and Wellman going at it again. They did it throughout season 1, and Maxfield definitely wants a piece of this. And Phil Otto up to 4th, and he's making Todd Maxfield's day very, very difficult at the moment. And this is why we wanted to do night racing. This looks fantastic here. These cars under lights. They're just great to watch, especially when you've got such fantastic racing. As we close down to inside the last 5 minutes, only about 8 or 10 laps to go. And we've got Roffey still in the lead from Wellman, Maxfield, Otto, and Parry Anastakis throwing his hat in the ring for it now. And Cade Donnelly back out there, but I think Cade's down a couple of laps through those repairs that were necessary. He's on the lap. He's on the lead lap, apparently. So, yeah, he is a challenger for a position here and for a podium. He didn't actually go any laps down in repairing that damage from that earlier incident. So he's actually in the hunt for this one. So this is a 6-car race at the front here at the moment. But if anything happens, you can be sure that those guys from 7th onwards are going to pounce and make the best of the opportunity. And we've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds. We're going to see this through until we finish this one and get the checkered flag. We're going to hold it here because this is a fantastic, exciting battle between car 30 and car 45. That's Roffey and Wellman going at it again. Roffey absolutely wants to win this back-to-back. So he's taken the first 2 rounds. Wellman wants a piece of this to stop him from doing exactly that. And Todd Maxfield, Parry Anastakis it is actually challenging for this as well. He's down on that inside line, and he's gone in behind Wellman, who's now, he's dropped down behind Roffey. And they are absolutely going hammer and tong here at the moment. Wellman looking for a way around Craig Roffey, but he's not finding it. And Parry Anastakis now gone to that inside just to stop him from getting down to that inside line. And he's got Cade Donnelly all over the back of him. So Parry and Craig Roffey, teammates. Gary Wellman and Cade Donnelly, teammates. Todd Maxfield, a teammate. They're all Sim Boys. You've got 2 Rogue Motorsport cars in front of 3 Sim Boys cars, and Phil Otto sitting there waiting for his chance to pounce. If these guys make a boo-boo, he just doesn't want to get involved in it either. That's going to be the trick. If these guys come together, Phil needs to get around it or miss it somehow, and he could go to the lead of this race, depending on how much damage and carnage there is. But as we go down to 1 minute and 57 seconds, we are Craig Roffey, followed by... Sorry, I did something untoward with my screen here. And Craig Roffey over Gary Wellman and Perry Anastakis battling for second, and then Kate Donnelly and Todd Maxfield rounding out the top five. Pete Matson in sixth over Phil Otto. No, Phil's actually in front of Pete Matson, my mistake. So Phil Matson back in seventh place, I believe. And this is getting very, very close. Todd Maxfield back there as well, in behind Wellman and Anastakis. They're going hard at it at the moment, with Roffey up the front, and he wants to hang on to this one. We've got about 2 or 3 laps to go. See how they go across the line this time around as we take a look, and we are at lap 122 with only 2 cautions in the race. We've actually managed to get 122 laps out of this one. Don't know how we got 131 last week with 3 cautions, but that's what it's telling me in iRacing. So 46.45. We've got 2 laps to go now because it's about 30-something seconds for a lap. The boys should cross the line with about 10 seconds to go and get another lap out of this one. 34, 33, 32. We are coming down to the end of this one. 30 seconds left as Craig Roffey continues to lead from Gary Wellman and Perry Anastakis. Phil Otto up to 4th. Kate Donnelly in 5th. And I think that's Todd Maxfield in behind him in 6th position. Can't quite see the car properly, so I'm not sure. But it's getting pretty tight. Craig Roffey driving the wheels off this thing to stay in front of Gary Wellman, but he's got about 3 car lengths on him at the moment. But if Craig makes the slightest mistake through these turns, gets a little bit loose, Gary Wellman will be all over him. So this is it. We are finished. We are across the line, and Craig Roffey takes victory again for the 2nd round in a row. Round 1 at Texas, round 2 at Kentucky, and Gary Wellman 2nd, and Perry Anastakis fills out the podium for 3rd place. Phil Otto 4th, and Kate Donnelly brings it home 5th after that incident earlier with Aidan Schultz. Fantastic drive. Great to see Phil Otto up in 4th place, and fantastic. Really happy about that. So we'll take a look at Roffey and Wellman here. And Roffey will probably do a burnout. He did it last round at Texas, so he's going to do it here. While he's doing the winner's burnout, we're going to take in an ad break, and we'll be back with... well, you can watch the burnout, but we'll take in an ad, and we'll come back in a moment and speak to our podium.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Kentucky Speedway, round 2 of the Oz Oval V8 Supercars Oval Racing Summer Series for 24-25, and it's just been completed, it's been run, it's been won. And we've got our podium in the commentary booth with us. We'll kick off with third place, Parry Anastakis. Mate, fantastic. Congratulations on third place. How did you see the race tonight?
It was hard work, the whole race. It's a balance of, saving tyres and racing hard. But it was a really good race. I just had one little incident with Cade. I didn't see him on the outside. I apologise, Cade. But otherwise, it was really good racing. Had a great finish there with Gary as well. But it was truly a balance though of tyre management.
So because it's the legacy track, it was a case of tyre management, was it?
It was, especially if you chewed your tyres early. It's sort of you suffered at the end. So if you save tyres early, you'd sort of better middle of the race and the end of the race. So.
Because I was getting the impression that it was just like bumpy and horrible, but not necessarily hard on tyres, because the leaders actually started to pit in on 51 and 52. So I thought they must have gotten some pretty good tyre life out of it. So I started to think that maybe it wasn't as hard on rubber as I thought it was going to be. But you're saying that's not the case. It was hard work to keep it going.
Yeah, that first stint I was conserving tyres and I came in and it was 48% my right front. So I think that explains it. So. Yeah,
you must have got sick and tired of the spotter telling you.
You're gonna blow. Yeah.
Look, mate, you've had a fantastic run tonight. You're at the front. You're second. You were third. You were fifth. I think you were everywhere except in the kitchen making sandwiches, weren't you?
Yeah, no, that was fun. I don't know. I had some speed tonight, so it's not normally me. I normally find a mess up in the pits or do something silly, but I kept away from all that today. So all good. It was great fun.
Well, you led 16 laps, so you obviously had a decent run at the front there at some point. Started fourth, finished third. So anytime you finish in front of where you started, it's got to be good. Mate, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
No, just the Rogue, the team. They get me out here. I'm pretty busy at work, but when these races are on, I love it. And when I'm in town, I travel a lot. So just the Sim boys. Well done, Craig, and good racing, Gary.
Well, hopefully, because they're fortnightly rounds, hopefully a few more rounds fall your way, and you're able to make it. We've got 4 rounds left after this one. One's Charlotte, I think one's Auto Club, and there's a round at Daytona, and there's one in between somewhere. I can't remember which track it is. but it's a night race either way. So look, congratulations again, mate. Fantastic drive, 3rd place overall, and we'll hopefully see you back again in a couple of weeks for what I think is Charlotte. I think Charlotte's the next one.
I'll be here. I'll be here, man.
Sorry?
I'll be here.
Excellent stuff. Great. No worries. Thanks very much. Parry Anastakis, 3rd place tonight, getting on the podium after making his presence felt at the pointy end of the field for most of the race. And we move on to 2nd place now. Our Series 1 champion, who's starting to really sort of challenge a couple of people at the front and make some noise in the Summer Series. That's Gary Wellman. Mate, how you doing?
Yeah, good, Steve. How you going, mate?
Not too shabby. Happy to be here, and I'm pumped. And a new sponsor name to be associated with Oz Oval, so that's going to be good. Just to take care of some service stuff and all that. So that's going to be good. But mate, how did you find it? You had similar issues to Parry, did you, as far as tyres were concerned?
Oh, probably not so much. My tyres are pretty good. I found that first run, well, all of it, I was just saving the gear, saving fuel, and I was a bit gutted that caution came out because I felt like I was kind of in the box seat. I was a few laps up on everyone on fuel, and probably would have. I was hoping to get the jump, but I'll never know now. But still, a couple of cautions and a long race like that's not too bad, and it was good racing at the end.
Well, the irony in that, of course, is that both cautions were caused by your teammates. So
we'll have to have a chat about that.
The team debrief should be interesting.
Oh, no, it is what it is. So no, it was good.
You might well have me a beer.
Yeah, something like that. But no, it's all good.
No worries, mate. Look, fantastic racing. The track itself, is it really that bumpy, or is it just a bit rough?
Oh, it's not too bad. I found it all right. I actually had to buy the track. I didn't even have it. So some of those old legacy ones are a bit bumpy, but I didn't think it was that bad. So
I didn't realise. I thought the legacy tracks were available, but yeah.
No, you owe me $5, Steve. I had to pay for that one.
That's probably $5 US too, is it?
Probably. Yeah, that'll hurt.
Mate, you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Parry firstly. I think it was a good racing him. I was sort of hoping to sort of set Craig up for a bit of a move and just work out what was working or not, and then Parry come along, but it didn't matter. We had an awesome race at the end there, so that was real good, and congrats on him for the podium and Craig for the win as well. Sim Boys, Hot Toddies, United Electrical, Oz Oval. I think everything simulated is still a sponsor, aren't they? But everyone associated with the league, and everyone for turning up tonight. It was good fun.
Yep, everything simulated are still sponsoring. I thought he was going to take a break. We were happy to run this series without him, but Shannon wouldn't have that. He said, "No, mate, no, I'm sponsoring everything you do."
He's doing it well, mate. So keep it up.
He's putting in a supreme effort, and his involvement in not just the racing but the sponsorship is really appreciated by all the drivers and everybody. I mentioned it during the race. The admins, production team, everybody's just really happy to have him involved, and it just makes things that little bit more special. That plaque that you picked up for winning Series 1, that's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Yeah, she's sitting proudly on top of my sim here, so it's a ripper, that one. So again, thanks again for putting up the trophies. It's always good to have something to show for it again.
No worries at all. Okay, started third, finished second. Once again, anytime you finish ahead of where you start's a good thing. You led 7 laps, surprisingly. So I'd be interested to see the stats on how long you were in second place, because that seemed like, I'm very surprised it was only 7 laps led. So I thought it was a lot more than that. So you must have been in second for about half the race.
Yeah, I was hanging there, but I got the fastest lap, so that makes up for it. But I don't know if there's a bonus point or anything. Is there for that now with this series?
Yep.
Cool. I'll take that then.
We used to have a fastest average lap, but we got rid of that. We only have the fastest lap overall now, so there's a bonus point there.
Yeah, nice.
No worries. All right, congratulations, mate, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks at, I think, Charlotte. I might be wrong. I've said it twice now, and it'll probably be somewhere else, but we'll see how we go. In 2 weeks' time, December the 8th, I believe, is the next round. And we go to do it all over again. And we're looking very forward to seeing the battle that comes with that. So thanks very much, Gary Wellman, and congratulations on second tonight.
Yep, good on you, mate. Cheers.
And we move through to our winner tonight, back-to-back, Craig Roffey. Oh, you're on fire, mate.
Hey, fellas. Nah, yeah, it's good momentum from last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, very well done. Back-to-back wins. So you've basically given yourself a little bit of breathing space for what may or may not come in the next round in 2 weeks' time. So that probably does that take a little bit of the weight off, knowing that you've gone back to back and you've got the points there. So with the third round coming up, it sort of takes a bit of the strain off.
Nah, not really, because anything happen. Anyone can have a bad night, and then you're back to square one. So no, just keep on charging and try and stand the pointy in.
Yeah, mate. Started 8th, finished first, led 31 laps tonight. Fantastic effort, a fantastic drive, and you really seem to, pardon the pun, but you really seem to go up a gear towards the end there, and just push even just that little bit harder. As you haven't bent the throttle pedal or anything, have you?
No, I just for the first 30 laps, I just study everyone, just watch how it's going. If there's no cautions, then usually there's not many cautions throughout the race, and then you can start planning your tire strategies and whatnot. But yeah, last 30 laps you can up the ante and sprint it home.
Well, to be honest, that strategy, you pulled something like that last week, I think, as well, last round, and it seems to be working for you, because you seem to be able to put yourself away from when the little things happen, and you've got a bit of a buffer there and a bit of room around you. So it worked really well for you tonight, and as I said, fantastic effort, leading 31 laps. In this timed race, I think we got 120 something laps out of it. So, which was really strange. We did 131 at Texas. We had 3 cautions. We had 2 cautions tonight, and we do less laps. So in the same period of time. So a little bit strange. 124 laps that was, and we get that pop up again. 28 lead changes. We had 40 last week. Yours was the final lead change when you came out of turn 4 and managed to get your nose in front just to get across the line. So 12 less lead changes tonight, but the racing was just fantastic. I mean, lovely and clean, and the 2 incidents that we did have were just fairly minor, easy, like little things that can happen when guys are racing close. In fact, one of when the first one, Cade was actually following you to the outside, not realising that Aiden was still halfway along his right-hand side, and they came together. But he was just simply watching the back of yours. I don't think he even saw that Aiden was so close to him. So that was unfortunate more than anything.
That's why you got to turn your spotter on, because I let the cat out of the bag. I'll do that on purpose. So if they want to follow me and there's a car there, I'm gonna take you up, and then that's just the way it is. You put your spotter on, otherwise you got to follow me into another car.
And you must be pretty happy with the team sort of aspect tonight as well. First and third with Parry coming home on the podium.
Yeah, big congrats to Parry. It's good to see him on the podium. Don't usually see him up here, but no, well done. And unlucky to Big T and Rick.
Quick question too. We've got about 2.5 weeks before we get our hands on the Gen 3 cars. How excited are you?
Oh, I don't think they're going to be as good as these cars. Just less aero. They're going to.
Well, less aero is going to make them a bit
NASCAR,
twitchy.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to make them a bit twitchy, I think, because they got downgraded aero.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what we can do with the setups for those, but we've got a couple of options we're looking at to get some fixed setups done. So we'll work that out. We're going to do some testing. There'll be a couple of test and tune sessions in between rounds of the summer series for anybody who's available to jump in and try them out and try a couple of things. So we'll see how we go with them. I tend to agree with you. I mean, these things can be a little bit unstable and twitchy at times, but with the decreased aero, you've got to sort of wonder how hard or how easy it will be to get the Gen 3s out of shape.
I think they're more twitchy because they've got more aero, like a GT3. They've got a lot of aero, so any slight movement in the steering wheel, it just darts. So I reckon they're going to be easier to drive, just because there's less aero, less front grip, and it won't twitch as much.
Well, probably easier to drive, but yeah, like well, drafting and stuff with the less aero, drafting and stuff. If we've got an open qualify session and that sort of thing, that's probably not going to be as beneficial in the new cars, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. All right, mate. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just the Rogue Boys showing up every 2 weeks now. Good stuff. Keep it up.
Yeah,
MD Sports.
Go ahead. Sorry.
MD Sports. Everyone involved with Ozoval doing a wicked job. Hopefully, we get 20 plus drivers in 2 weeks.
Well, we're trying to fit it all in between going blind.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Everyone involved, and good stuff. Keep it up.
No worries at all. What I was going to say was, my apologies. I made a boo-boo earlier in the race, the first few laps there. I didn't actually notice that you were in the field. I probably called your name out during qualifying, but because that's, I just was on autopilot basically, and when I saw the green car, I didn't realise it was your number 30. So my apologies for that. I said that I haven't seen Craig Roffey in the field. Then a couple of laps later, there he is.
Just hanging back. Just doing a go.
All right, mate. Well, congratulations again on the win. So you're in a good, solid position as far as the series is concerned. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Like I think it's Charlotte, and we'll see how we go. Mate. What can I say? Fantastic stuff. Back-to-back wins. So congratulations, Craig Roffey, who's leading the championship. I wouldn't say comfortably. He's got a pack of dogs behind him that are barking at his heels. But fantastic stuff tonight. And if you're interested in running in the Oz Oval League, sorry, we've got to do the results. Yes, my bad. And this is the unofficial results. Of course, Craig Roffey takes the win here tonight at Kentucky, with Gary Wellman second, Pariana Starkus third, Phil Otto in fourth place, Kate Donnelly fifth, Todd Maxfield sixth, Peter Matson seventh place, returning from illness. So great to have Pete back. Shannon Wright up into eighth place tonight at the finish. That's really good. He managed to avoid those couple of incidents, I think, that took place. Tristan Kosh into ninth tonight in his new livery, and Troy Davidson rounds out your top 10. Behind that, of course, in 11th, Tony Roffey, who was actually in a really decent position and ended up coming 2 laps down with an end-of-line penalty or something, and being out of order under the yellow. Rick Vincent, 12th. Michael Ladder, 13th. Aidan Schultz, in the end, drove pretty well, but was absolutely unable to avoid the carnage there on the second caution. So he came home 14th. Adam Malone, 15th, which is a real shame. He was doing so well tonight and got caught up in that second incident. And Derek Jacobs, who wasn't well tonight, finished 86 laps down. But all the best to you, Derek, in 16th position. So fantastic stuff. If you want to get involved in the league, you can show your support. The website's at ozoval.wixsite.com/index. Is missing off the end of that. Facebook.com/ and it's I think it's actually Ozoval V8SC Racing or something like that. But look for Ozoval on Facebook and you'll find it. Look, if you want to be a sponsor or get involved with the series in that way, you can contact us at Quasi Esports at gmail.com. And the league ID, if you want to get involved and race, is 10491. That's the league ID in iRacing. Go to the leagues section, search for League 10491. And Quasi Esports can be found at youtube.com/@Quasi Esports, one word. And that's where our channel is. Like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss any of the action. It's Vegas next week. Vegas, not Charlotte. So there we go. The producer, once again, sitting there having a bit of a chuckle, listening to me be wrong, and didn't actually bother to correct me or save me. So we'll take care of that later on. But Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time, and we'll see the boys back to battle again. Las Vegas under lights, that is going to be spectacular. On behalf of Everything Simulated, Inside Lane Productions, Quasi Esports, all of the drivers and admins and everybody involved with Oz Oval V8 Supercar Oval Racing League, and Kobe Jordan in the production, and myself on the mic. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.